Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you coding questions of CoCubes exam. So today I came up with two interesting questions. So let's see the problem statement. So first one is find the sum of odd occurrence of digits of a given number n. So what are they asking? Sum of odd occurrence. Odd occurrence means occurrence is nothing but the count of a digit for odd number of times. They call it as like a occurrence or a frequency. Okay, they are not asking in which is a digit which is in odd place. That is a different question. Please concentrate here. Okay, so let's see the sample test case. So input is given with a group of digits like 1 2 3. So the length of a number is, total digits are like 4 plus 3 7. The count of a number is like 7, right? So if you see, the number 1 is occurred for 2 times. Let's see the explanation. So here digits 1 and 2 repeats twice, which is even occurrence, and digit 3 is for thrice, which is odd occurrence. So we have to sum up the odd occurrence digits. So what are the odd occurrence digits? So when you point to the first 3, that is the element, and second 3, so that is the 3 over here, and when it is pointing to the third 3, so that element is also coming here. So while summing up this three things, 3 plus 3 plus 3, we get the 9 as output. So I think we understood the test case clearly. So now we have to write the possible logic for this. So let's see the Eclipse for solution. So this is a class named sum of odd occurrence of digits. So here it is having a main method. Okay, then I have taken some two user defined methods. Okay, so this is one method and this is one more method. So we'll see clearly. Before going to the methods, the given input for us is a number which is in the type of long. We know it. So how will you count that each digit is occurred for how many number of times? So if it is an array, it is very easy to count, but the given number type is what? A number. So it is difficult. So first what am I doing is, I am going to convert the given number into an array. Okay, integer array. So how am I doing? Just see. Because if you take an array, it is easy to count each element occurred for how many number of times. If it is odd occurrence, let's sum it up. So what am I doing is, I have designed a method private static int, because sum is type of int, and what is the method name? Sum of odd occurrence digits, and passing our input which is in the type of long. Okay, so what am I doing? I designed a method called convert number to array by passing the given number, and in return what I get a array, right? So go to the method convert number to array. Okay, so first what am I doing is, the given input whatever it is there, first I'm converting into the string type. Okay, so the conversion of string is like this. String dot value of is a predefined method present in a string class. String is a wrapper class, right? So sorry, not a wrapper class, it's a predefined class, where there we have a predefined method value of, and passing the value n over here, so it converts into the string. Okay, now the num type is string, so the string can be splitted. So when you split with no character is given over here, so it splits each digit, so you get a array of digits. Okay, num, this variable dot split is a predefined method present in a string class. Okay, so you are not specifying any token over here. If you give a space, wherever you have a space, it splits there. You are giving nothing, so it splits uh, wherever it is not finding that, right? So it splits the digits. So once it splits the digits, you get the string array. So now you want it in the form of integer array, right? So what am I doing? I'm going to convert into the integer array. so just by parsing it. So if you want the integer array, you have to specify the length, right? So I'm instantiating a new array, so the size would be nothing but the count of this string array, right? So you get the digits, like 7 digits you get, because the number is with the length 7 digits, so the count would be 7. So how do you get it? So it's not always 7, right? It's not fixed. Based on the input you give, it always changes. So I have taken variable dot length. Okay, so now your new array is created with a new memory of 7 elements. Then what are we doing? We are initializing each and every element into the array. So the for loop is running for 0 to up to the length whatever you have taken, and then you are initializing array of I is equal to what? Digits of I, but that is in the string type. We are parsing the string to the integer, so integer dot parseInt of the string value. So then finally it returns integer type. Okay, so until the loop runs, each and every element assigns into the array, then finally we are returning the array. So this is how we convert a number to a array. Any kind of number, it may be an integer, any kind of number, but not float and just double. So now we got the array. So now it is easy to find each element is occurred for how many number of times, right? So if you see, to count the each digit occurred for how many times, you generally need two for loops. So I have taken two for loops. So int I equal to 0 up to length I plus plus, same, and j equal to 0, j less than length, and j plus plus. Okay, so here if you see, imagine it is the first iteration where the inner for loop is running. So initially occurrence is 0. Okay, so here it is starting. What am I doing? We generally know. So if the array of I is matching with array of j, then means what? Both are matching. So that means so you have to increase your occurrence. Okay, next, for the second, j plus plus means it becomes the second iteration. So it compares with the a of 1. This is array of I means what? ARR of 0 is comparing with ARR of 1. Okay, this is for what? Second iteration. Okay, for third iteration, ARR of 0 equal to ARR of 2. We know it, right? So whenever it is matching, that means we are incrementing the occurrence. Okay, so with that we get the count of element which is present at ARR of 0. So what is ARR of 0? We know it, 1. So 1 is occurring for how many times? We can know after finishing of the inner for loop, right? So what am I doing is, that variable I'm checking whether it is odd or not. Okay, if it is coming odd times or not. If it is odd, what? We have to sum it up with, and initially sum is 0. You have to sum with what? The element. What is our element? ARR of I means what? 0. So ARR of 0 is nothing but 1. Sorry, ARR of 0. Let's see. Sorry. Occurrence. What is the occurrence of 1? It is 2, right? Okay, 2 percentile 2. If is not satisfied. Okay, it doesn't enters into the if. Now what happens? Again I plus plus, and for counting the I plus plus means what? It points to the second element of the array. So for counting the second element of the array, again your occurrence should be initially 0. If you don't give this, everything goes wrong. Okay, again you are counting the occurrence. Okay, so what happens? The same flow, and whenever it is odd time occurrence, it just sums up. Okay, finally for each and every element, when it is checking, like this outer loop, when it is finishing, finally you return the sum. So in this way you get the sum which is getting printed. So let's run and see this. So you are getting sum is 9. So let's check for other input also. So whatever the code you write, it should satisfy for all the inputs, then only your code is correct. So let's take 5 4 4 6. So now what are the odd occurrence digits? 2 is one thing, and 5 and 6. So 7 plus 6, 13. So let's run and see. So 13 should be your output. Yeah. So whatever the input you give, it should satisfy. So the only logic is, first we converted the given number into an array. Then we, in an array, we counted each element is occurring for how many times. So if that count is odd, then we are summing the element. So this is the logic we approached here. So I hope you understood. So let's go to the next question. So this is, find the count of number of carry operations needed while adding two numbers. Okay, so carry operations. So this is something interesting. So you have to return count. Okay, count of carry operations. So the return type would be int, and the input type will be integer and integer. So two input elements and one output element. So let's see, generally, let's see the explanation. Okay, so how do we add two numbers? From the last digits only, right? So what are the last digits of two numbers? 4, 8. Okay, 4 plus 8 is 12, right? So you get 2 below, and the carry would be 1, right? So generally 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8. 4 plus 8 is what? 12, right? So you get a carry here, right? So this is a carry. So how I wrote here is, C, 8 plus 4 is 2 you obtain in the result, and carry is taken up as 1. So carry is 1. Okay, next, if you take 7 plus 3 plus 1, how much? 11, right? So 1, and the carry would be 1 again, right? So 6 plus 2 plus 1, how much? So that's why I have written 7 plus 3, and this carry is there. Now it whatever the carry is, that's why I have taken carry plus 7 plus 3. The result obtained is 1. Okay, so let me adjust. Okay, so here the carry plus 7 plus 3 is obtaining the result as 1. Okay, and the carry again you are getting as 1, right? So I have written like this. Okay, next, how do you sum it up? 6 plus 2 plus 1, what is the carry? So like that I wrote, the total sum is 9, and there is no carry to be forwarded, right? So you get here as 0. Sorry, what is that? 9. So you don't have any carry, so carry is 0, right? So let us write here, so 1 plus 5, and carry is 0, so you get as 6, right? So though when you add, so you are getting the result is this thing, but when you add these three things, 1 plus 5 plus the carry 0, again you get carry as 0. So the carry which is less than 1, then it is considered as no carry. Okay, so nothing but carry greater than 0 is only considered there is some carry. There is a carry. But carry may be 2, 9, 8, anything, right? Yeah. So, but whatever it is greater than 0 is called a carry operation. If you see here, 2 carries are greater than 0. So, you get the output as 2. Okay. So, this logic will be worked with any kind of number. Suppose if you add a 4-digit number with a 2-digit number, or 1-digit number with 4-digit number, anything, the logic will work out. So just simple logic. So let's start with the solution. So I have taken a class with number of carries which is having a main method. Okay, so in this what am I doing is I created one user defined method. So let's see. First I am taking two input numbers. One is a 4-digit number and the other one is a 2-digit number. Okay, let it be. Next is I designed a predefined method. I told you the return type is integer, and what is this? Two integer numbers we are passing. Okay, so that count we are going to print. So what's the logic written inside? So when I pass the two numbers, what am I doing? I have taken a while. So just go to the explanation once. What are we doing in adding of two numbers? We just add the last two digits, I mean last digit of each number, right? If you have, you add it. If not, you consider it as 0. Okay, so now you are adding 4 and 8. Once it is done, again you will add 3 plus 7 plus carry. Initial addition you don't have any carry. Okay, so then onwards your carry gets started. So how to get the last digit of each number? Nothing but a reminder, right? So I am taking like that only. So let's see. N1 greater than 0 or N2 greater than 0, please run the while loop. So I am getting the last digit of a number 1, last digit of a number 2 with the reminder. Then what am I doing? I am summing it up. Reminder 1 plus reminder 2. Initially carry is 0 because you don't have anything, right? So I am summing it up. Okay, now how you get the carry? So this sum is nothing but, let's assume, what is this reminder? Here you are taking as num1, right? It is 3, so it gives you the last digit, right? So if it is a number 2, what is the last digit? It's 9. So 9 plus 3, what is the sum? 0 plus 9 plus 3, so it is 12, right? So you get 12. So but 2 is written under it and the carry would be 1. How to get this one? We already know. If you divide by 10, you get the carry, right? So that's why what am I doing? Sum is 12. 12 by 10 is nothing but 1. Whatever you want, carry. So we are putting carry is equal to sum by 10, which gives you 1. Okay, you got the carry 1. That means one operation is there, right? Now if carry greater than 0, we are counting it. Yeah, counted. Now the count became how much? 1, right? Next, what are we doing? Once the last digits are finished, you have to go to the next previous digit, I mean from last second digit. So in order to happen that, we truncate one digit for number 1 and number 2. So the number 1 becomes how much? 597, right? So this becomes, sorry, if you truncate one digit, you get 4. So again iteration happens. So n1 is greater than 0 and n2 greater than 0, and for the second iteration, what would be the remainder? This would be 7 and this would be what? Into percentile 10. 4 percentile 10 is how much? 4, right? 4 percentile 10 means 4. When you take a remainder of small number with a big number, then you get what? 4 percentile 10 means nothing but 4 by 10. So 10 zeros are 0, you get the remainder as 4. What is the previous carry? You all know it, right? Previous carry is what? 1. So 1 plus 7 plus 4, how much? It is 12. Again 12 you got. Okay, so how you get the carry? Again you get the carry as 1 in the second iteration, right? 12 by 10, again you get it the same. So carry you got, so again the count becomes 2 for the second iteration, right? So for second iteration n1 becomes 59 and this becomes 0, nothing is there. 4 by 10 is 0, right? So again it goes n1 greater than 0 is true and n2 greater than 0 is false. So because it is OR condition, it enters inside. And for the third iteration, n1 percentile 10 means what is current n1? 59, right? So you get 9. So what is current n2? You know, 0. 0 percentile 10 is 0. So carry is 1. I mean current second iteration carry is 1 plus 9 plus 0. How much? 10. So in the third iteration you get 10 and again you have a carry. So you get the carry. So carry is greater than 0. So again the count increments to 3, right? Then your number becomes how much for the third iteration? 5. And 0 by 10 it becomes again 0, right? So again goes back, and what happens in the fourth iteration? n1 is greater than 0, yeah, true, but n2 is not greater than 0, so it doesn't matter. So remainder would be 5 and this would be 0, right? So previous carry is 1 again, so 1 plus 5 plus 0 is 6. So from 6 you don't have any carry. Carry is 0. Carry 0 means no count increment. Okay. So it still remains 3 in the fourth iteration, right? So when it comes to the n1 by 10, 5 by 10 means 0, and again this would be 0. So both are 0. No condition gets satisfied. This while loop stops. So what is the current C value? 3. So this output would be 3. So how many carries are there? 3 carries over here. Okay, carry operations are 3. So for any kind of example, I mean 2 digit or 1 digit, anything you get the correct answer. So if you want you can try it. So for any kind of thing, not only the big number given over here, you can give a 2-digit number over here and you can give a 5-digit number over here. I mean when you add, how many operations you get? As it is you get for the same code. So I hope you understood simple logic. And so for any queries and any efficient solutions, you can write in the comment section. Okay, and for latest and for more videos, please subscribe to my channel. And this is for today. Thank you.